We have a proverb in Jamaica that says, you show me your company, I'll tell you who you are. Birds of a feather flock together. And it's very important that you pay attention to the people in your life, especially the people in close proximity to you. If you're a level 6 person and you're hanging around level 4 people, then chances are they're not going to rise up to be level 6. You're going to slide down to be level 4. So you want to pay attention to who you're hanging with. You want to pay attention to who you're spending time with, because those are the people who are speaking into your life and into your mind. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. It was Sidney Poitier in his book, The Measure of a Man. He said when two people go for a walk, a funny thing happened. One person adjusts to the pace of the other. Nothing that they plan, but it's something that happens automatically. So whoever you're walking with, sooner or later, one person is going to adjust to the pace of another. There's a saying that says if you walk with the lame, you're going to end up with a limp. So it is very important to be careful where you get the information from, who you're hanging with. There was a time when I was in a relationship and I love to read. I read a statistic that said the average American reads 1 book per year. So I decided, you know what? I'm Kirk Nugent. I'm going to read 1 book a week. By the end of the year, I'll be 52 times or 52 paces ahead of my average competitor. So I love reading. I got a lot of books and I got in the house. I was in a relationship at the time, and the person I'm in the relationship with understood that I was a reader. She never bothered me when I'm reading. She knew this is what this boy does. He reads while she loved watching television. And I never stopped her from watching television or bother her. That's her thing. I'm reading. So I would get home and I would go into the bedroom and I would start reading. And she's out in the living room watching television. And I could hear the television and she's laughing and having the time of her life. I'm still reading. But the more she laughed and the more fun it sounded like she's having, all of a sudden I find myself opening the bedroom door. So now I'm reading, but I can even hear more of the excitement that's going on in the living room. It wasn't long, maybe about 3 or 4 months, before I moved from reading in the bedroom to now I'm in the kitchen right next to the living room. So now I'm hearing more of what's going on television. At no point did she stop watching TV and started reading. She's watching our programs. So I'm in the kitchen. Within another few months, I'll have the book open, but I'm reading, I'm looking at the television, and I'm reading only during commercial. But by the end of the year, we were next to each other watching Shipmates and Blind Dates. I stopped reading. Here's the thing. At no point did she stop watching television and started reading. I slid down to her level and started doing what she was doing. And I remember I would say to her, baby, there's a lot of money in these books, because what I would do literally, I would take $20 bills and $50 bills and $100 bills and use them as bookmarkers, and when I'm finished reading, I would put it on the shelf. And she never went to investigate what I meant by there are a lot of money in the books. Books were her kryptonite. She stayed away from books. TV, in my mind, was my kryptonite, but for some reason, I started moving towards it. So you have to really pay attention to what you're doing, because things doesn't happen overnight. They happen over time. And over time, you develop relationships or habits that will not serve you, will not serve your greater purpose. And before you know, you get into this routine that is very difficult to get back to where you were. So you want to pay attention to what you're doing. You want to pay attention to who you allow to speak into your life. You want to pay attention to the conversations that you're having, and just always make sure you're on point and you're walking in the direction that you want to walk, not where someone else is leading you and you're not adjusting to someone else's pace. So for today, that's our lesson. We'll talk more tomorrow.